Okay, I was just gonna do a short video because I was actually interested in this before. I actually just bought this, so I wanted to go ahead and do a short video real quick, just about this, and about ion bolts in general. All right. So, anyways, what we have here is we have a stock ion bolt. Here we have a Warrior ion bolt. Now the reason I have this one out is because this is pretty much just like every other ion bolt that's out there, like the NDZ skeleton, the Boblong, but the Boblong has the pillow. That's the main difference. The Firebolt and a lot of the other upgrade bolts, this is pretty much exactly like them. So it represents pretty much the majority of them, so I'm just going to kind of use this as instead of getting out a bunch of bolts. So, and then here we have the new Tech L7v2. Alright, and to be honest with you, I haven't even seen a weighing or a video of this bolt. So this is for the people that are interested on the weight of the V2, because I know I couldn't find any information on it when I was trying to look it up. Alright, so right here I have a scale. Stock ion bolt. Stock ion bolt weighs 33 grams. Alright. Here we go with the Ion Warrior bolt. And like I said, this is going to be pretty much like most of the upgrade bolts out there, like the Firebolt, Skeleton, stuff like that. Even the Boblong with the pillow bolt. It's going to be very similar in weight and stuff. This is 22 grams. That's a big difference, and then plus this thing's got better airflow, and I'll talk about that in a second. And then we have the L7v2. Now this is just the bolt part, alright? With this, the bolt's a lot smaller, because as you can tell, there's a big chunk missing out of it. The whole entire bolt for the most part. So, the back half of the bolt, and instead it uses this as a plug, and it's got, I'll talk about these bolt stops in a second, but let's go ahead and weigh this. It's saying 7.2 grams, but I think it's actually probably about 7.1. So as you can tell, this is very, very, very light compared to even an upgraded ion bolt. And this weighed, what, 30 something? So, this is at least 5 times lighter than the stock bolt, which is incredible. So basically, the other thing I was going to talk about is what comes with the territory of each bolt. Now the stock bolt's obviously heavy, which is unnecessary. It doesn't really have a lot of flow to get to the ball, which is kind of unnecessary as well. So really, replacing this, you can't go wrong either way. Now then, when you come to most your average upgraded bolts, and some of the older ones, because obviously they didn't start doing this L7 design until a couple years ago. But this was kind of the upgraded bolt, just the average kind of upgraded bolt for the longest time. And these bolts, basically what happens is they improve airflow. They cut down on material a little bit, and it's definitely a lot lighter, which is the main advantage. Because see, with an ion, basically that your firing can and all that good stuff is your firing chamber. Basically, where the bolt sits is basically the volume of air that's going to be pushed out. When you decrease the size of the bolt, you're going to increase the amount of air that can be put in there, thus lowering pressure to get the ball out. But on the other hand, it takes longer to fill that chamber. It's a bigger chamber, so it reduces your rate of fire. But like I said, it lowers your pressure. It's going to be easier on paint and probably a little more air efficient. So these are a pretty good way to go if you're still trying to get a high rate of fire, going crazy, or just trying to use it as an experiment gun. or something like that, just trying to get it as fast as you can, these would be the way to go for speed. And, you know, maybe just get the lightest one you can find. I just got this one out because it's a really good example of what, you know, it looks just like the stock bolt, except, you know, it's got some holes cut out. You know, it's slightly different. You know, it's definitely a good representation of most of those upgrade bolts out there. And it does do well. Then when you come to your L7 bolt, you know, there's bolts out there like the U3 hollow point, the Deadly Winds one. Now that bolt, you know, it's a little bit different, obviously, and it's got the pillow on it, but I'm basically talking about the bolts that, you know, there's really no stem to them. They're, you know, you got the little plug here, but they're just a bolt. These are what's going to drop your pressure the most, but like I said, it also is going to affect the rate of fire negatively. But to me, if my gun can shoot 20 balls a second, I am just gravy with that. Alright? So really, there is nothing wrong with this. Getting a QEV will probably help you out too. You know, 20 balls a second is more than fast enough to mess with people on the field, because, you know, obviously I have other guns that I can use for PSP and stuff like that, so my Ion's kind of be my mess around gun, and I'm assuming it's either going to be a mess around or a backup gun for most people out there. So either way, 20 balls a second is enough. So, and then the other thing I like about the L7 is I actually bought the regular Ion one, even though I'm actually going to be putting it in a XE Ion. Is that you can actually, the only difference between them is the bolt plug, and this even goes with the EOS model. Yeah, I think that's what it's called, the bolt plug or the bolt stop. And so I got the regular Ion one because I have an Ion XE bolt stop here. I was able to get one outside of here, so now I'm able to use it in multiple different guns if I feel the need to. So I think that's pretty cool. All you gotta do is change it, the plug stays the same. It's pretty cool. Alright, well, that's about it for my little Ion bolt demo. Thanks for watching.